Okay, boy, we're back here on Liquid Lunch. We've got Sue Young here. I can't believe what a small world it is, Sue. Because I said to you, I said to you, oh, we've had some other EFT practitioners on the show, and you said, yeah, like Crystal Hawk, who's my mom.
Hi, Mom. And she taught me. And when I went through sort of a difficult transition, well, the thing is, she's a Gestalt therapist, so I grew up with, pass the butter and stop projecting on your sister. We grew up in a therapy
At least
household.
she didn't keep you, isolated in a box without any human contact like other kinds
she
of
wasn't experimenting. But then she did bring the earlier than EFT was thought field therapy. So about 20 years ago, she came home and started tapping on us. Sure. And so our kids have grown up with it. It's very interesting. And, they've always grown up with Granny doing healing touch on them. And so that's been part of our lives. And I was a decorator designer in the film world. So I led this very, very high-paced, very busy, probably the absolute opposite of that type of lifestyle for many years. And then the film business kind of, went 9/11, turn of the century, everything shut down really quite a bit in Toronto, so there was much less work. But I actually did a makeover show.
Sure.
And so I would go into people's homes with my crew, and we'd have 2 days to completely make over their home. And what I found was, and it was based on organization and clutter. So there was a woman in front of the camera, and she was the host of the show, and we were just the magical people that went in and did all this stuff and transformed the rooms.
Sure.
But I found that as we transformed these people's homes, when they came back into it, something happened, and they would burst into tears, and they would feel so moved by it that was what I realized I needed. It was like, I don't really care what couch or chair I'm picking anymore. This is not the direction that my life has to go in. I need to figure out. And can you imagine being this person who's too busy to even, find time for anything, thinking, well, how am I going to do that? I had no idea. And I just put that, of course, in the back of my head. But then, there was a point where, of course, because I was working at this pace, I became quite ill, and I was stopped dead in my tracks. And as I put my life back together, what I found was I turned to tapping. I'd go, Mom, could you come over and tap on me? And finally I thought, I should really learn how to do this and really, really do it. And as I did, I tapped on everything, on every aspect of anything. It was bottomless how many different things I used it for. So I studied it, and now I do it. And I just think it's an amazing tool for optimum health, for really clearing away. It is freedom from fear. I think that all negative emotions really essentially are based on some form of fearful event that happens, often as a child. You can't find mommy in the playground. That moment of abandonment, or someone picks on you at school, or the teacher's mean, or something that happens with your parents, something that happens, it's quite scary. Often in my office, someone was eating cereal, and in their pajamas, maybe with the little feet in the kitchen, and two people really go at it, and they're left feeling so unsafe. Sure. That when we're undoing their fibromyalgia or their constant depression or their enormous anxiety issue, it goes back to that.
Sure.
We do a little investigation, and once we tap on that, it's gone. There's no access to it. It's not talk therapy. You actually remove it, and I see people transform. It's very exciting. I see them relax. I see someone who's so tense all of a sudden look like a little boy again, playful and ready. And I just think, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
Okay.
So what exactly is EFT? Because I think some of our viewers may not know, right, Hugh?
Well, you demonstrated earlier a little bit.
Did you?
She's the expert.
Well, see, because Jodie came to, and as the last woman, I found Meetup. I heard about it, and so I went on the web. I didn't know anything about it.
Sure.
And I looked at all the different sites, and I saw different meetup groups for social activities, and some of them were spiritually oriented, and some of them were self-help And so I just emailed the same little thing. Hi, I'm an EFT practitioner. How about if I come and show your people how to do this? You know, and I really didn't care who answered me. I just thought, hey, I'll just get it out there. And I do a lot of volunteer work because I'm interested to see. I like to send it out there, and I know that it changes things for people, and that's exciting for me. I always learn from it. You know, so I do that. So this man, Steve, who runs Soul City, he actually answered me right away. He said, let's have tea. And he said, my group, you know, sometimes they have disco night and, you know, bowling night, and sometimes they're, you know, he said, we just watched the tapping solution. And we're very interested in, you know, we had this very, very interesting discussion about it. We'd be very interested in having you come.
Sure.
So I went, and I think you came to my second night. Where I did that. And I taught them how to tap, and then we tapped on anxiety. And the first thing I did, and usually I do with a group, is I tap on pain. So I stand up there with a big piece of paper and I write down, you know, who has some pain in their body, or who has some, you know, backache, or, you know, whatever it is. And then we write down out of 10 what it is, and I get a few different people to talk about it. And then we pick one person with the highest numbers, and I tap on that with them. And the other people, their pain goes away, and everyone feels less anxious. The anxiety in the room dies down. Mm-hmm. And the reason for this, and it sounds very, how could that be? That just sounds like magic. What's she talking about?
Sure.
But the reason for that is because the minute we have these tense feelings or emotions, they actually, when I ask people when they're really feeling anxious, where do you feel that in your body? It's usually, oh, it's like here in my stomach, or oh, I just start to feel my head's going all fuzzy. I have this tightness in my throat, or it's all through here. So when we tap on whatever it is, we actually, you know, I actually access those physical feelings because they're a signal. So sure. What I do with people, what I believe I'm doing, is creating a dialogue where they start to recognize, oh, I've got that feeling in my stomach. What's wrong? You know, my boss just came in and asked me to do something, and ooh, I've got that feeling. So I would say, tap on it, get rid of it, and change your relationship to your boss. You're not going to change your boss, and you don't actually have to get another job. You might as well just say, even though he comes in and he asks me to do this, and I already did it, and he wants me to do it again, I deeply love and accept myself, and I forgive myself for being so mad at him. And that's what I would do, and I would say, oh, my boss, he's really bugging me. What does he want from me? This is unreasonable. What a waste of time. I can't believe I have to do this. You know, I'm really, really annoyed. He's really bugging me. That's what I would do. Yeah. And the aggravation changes. And then what happens, interestingly, is that your relationship to your boss changes, because when you're not clenching up every time they walk in the room.
Sure.
And we can insert, you know, spouse, child, whoever. You know, it doesn't have to be your boss. I'm just throwing that out there. But really, you know, that's the thing, is that you shift how you feel. Because people always say to me, how do I get my husband to, you know, blah, blah, you know, stop spending money? You know, well, how are you acting when he says, I'm going to spend some money? Well, we had this big fight, you know, so we play it out and tap on it